Welcome to English Vertex Podcast.
Improve your vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation with our engaging lessons.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to English Vertex Podcast. I'm so happy you're here with us today.
Hey there. It's great to be back. I was actually reading through some old notes of mine from years ago, and wow, my sentences used to be so basic.
Don't worry. We all start there. What did they look like?
Things like, the food was good. I was happy. The trip was nice. Correct grammar, but honestly, kind of flat and boring.
That's such a perfect example for today's episode, actually. Today we're talking about turning simple sentences into powerful English, step by step.
We're going to show you exactly how to take those basic correct sentences and transform them into something richer, more descriptive, and more natural sounding.
By the end of this episode, you'll be able to upgrade your own simple sentences instantly using stronger vocabulary, better connectors, and more natural sentence structures.
While you're listening, think of one simple sentence you use often and comment below with it. We might even help upgrade it together in a future episode.
And if you're new here, welcome to English Vertex Podcast. Please like this episode and subscribe so you never miss a lesson like this one.
All right, let's stop settling for basic sentences and start building powerful ones. Let's get into it.
Let's start with the easiest and most powerful upgrade, replacing basic, overused words with stronger, more specific vocabulary. Here's the simple formula. Basic adjective or verb replaced with a stronger, more descriptive one. For example, good becomes excellent, amazing, or impressive, depending on context. Let me give you some real examples. Instead of the food was good, you could say the food was absolutely delicious. Instead of I was happy, you could say I was thrilled. Instead of the trip was nice, you could say the trip was unforgettable. Instead of he is smart, you could say he is incredibly sharp. Instead of she was tired, you could say she was exhausted. Here's a personal example. I used to say I'm tired constantly, but now, depending on the situation, I say I'm exhausted, I'm drained, or even I'm running on empty. Each one paints a slightly different picture. That's such a great point. Precision really adds color. Quick question for you, Emily. What's a stronger word for bad, besides just saying very bad? You could say terrible, awful, or even disappointing, depending on exactly what you mean.
Perfect examples. Now, for our listeners, can you think of a stronger word for big? Something more specific than just saying very big.
Words like huge, enormous, or massive all work great there, and each has a slightly different feeling or intensity.
Now let's talk about a common variation, avoiding the overuse of very entirely. Instead of very good, very tired, or very happy, try using a single stronger word instead. Very good becomes excellent. Very tired becomes exhausted. Very happy becomes thrilled or delighted.
That's such a simple but powerful shift. One strong word almost always sounds more natural and confident than very plus a basic adjective.
Can you all try this right now? Take one sentence with very in it and rewrite it using a single stronger word instead. Then share it in the comments.
So, to summarize this section, replacing basic words with stronger, more specific vocabulary instantly makes your sentences sound more vivid, confident, and natural.
Great summary. This one small habit alone can transform how advanced your English sounds.
Now, let's build on that with another powerful technique, combining short, simple sentences using connectors like because, although, however, and so that.
This is where sentences start to feel more sophisticated, since you're showing relationships between ideas, not just listing separate facts.
Let's look at a real-life situation. Instead of saying, I was tired, I went to bed early, you could combine them. I went to bed early because I was tired. Same information, but it flows so much better.
Let's demonstrate this with a quick dialogue. Emily, imagine you're explaining why you missed a call.
I missed your call because I was in a meeting, but I saw it right after and called you back.
See how naturally that connects two ideas together, instead of sounding like separate, disconnected facts?
Now let's compare formal and informal usage. Casually, you might say, "It was raining, so we stayed inside." More formally, you might write, "Due to the rain, we decided to remain indoors." Same idea, different level of formality. Let's do a quick practice activity. I'll give you two simple sentences and you combine them with a connector. The movie was long. I still enjoyed it. Those three alone can completely transform simple, choppy sentences into smoother, more sophisticated ones. Although the movie was long, I still really enjoyed it. Using although shows a nice contrast between the two ideas.
Perfect combination. Here are 3 tips for using connectors well. First, use because to explain reasons clearly. Second, use although or however to show contrast between two ideas. Third, use so that to explain purpose or intention. I'd love for you to write 2 simple sentences and then combine them using a connector in the comments below. Practicing this actively really helps it stick.
To review this section, remember, connectors like because, although, however, and so that link your ideas together, making your English sound more fluent, natural, and connected. Now, let's move into a third powerful technique, adding extra detail and varying how your sentences begin, instead of always starting with I or the.
This is such a practical, everyday skill because most learners naturally repeat the same sentence structure over and over without realizing it.
Let's look at a practical example. Instead of always starting with, I went to the store, you could occasionally start with, after work, I stopped by the store, adding time and variety.
Here's a detailed example with more context. Basic version, I ate dinner. It was good. Upgraded version, after a long day, I finally sat down for dinner and honestly, it was exactly what I needed. A tip for politeness and naturalness here, adding small emotional or sensory details like finally or exactly what I needed makes your sentences feel more personal and relatable, not just factually correct.
Tone and delivery guidance matters here too. When you add these extra details while speaking, slow down slightly and let your voice show genuine feeling rather than rushing through the whole sentence flatly.
Let's look at a real-life practice situation. Imagine describing your weekend to a friend.
Basic version, I went hiking. It was fun. Upgraded version, this weekend I finally went hiking with some friends. And honestly, the view at the top was absolutely breathtaking.
That upgraded version paints such a clearer, more vivid picture, and it naturally invites more conversation, too. Let's do an interactive mini practice. I'll give a basic sentence, and Emily will upgrade it using detail and a varied starter. Go ahead.
I woke up late. I was stressed.
Since I woke up late, I felt completely stressed, rushing to get ready for work.
Beautiful upgrade, combining a connector, added detail, and a varied sentence starter all together. I really encourage everyone listening to try upgrading one sentence about their own day right now, out loud, using these same techniques.
Speaking it out loud really helps these patterns become automatic over time, rather than staying just theoretical.
So structurally, remember, vary how your sentences start, add small emotional or sensory details, and let your tone reflect the feeling behind your words.
Great structural review. These small additions are exactly what separate flat, basic English from rich, natural, powerful English.
Okay, time to be honest with everyone. We've both made mistakes while trying to sound more advanced too, even after years of practice.
Oh, definitely. I once tried to sound fancy and said,
I am currently experiencing significant fatigue. Instead of just naturally saying, I'm really tired. It sounded stiff and strange.
That's such a common trap. Let's go through a few more. Mistake number 1, overusing very instead of choosing one stronger, more specific word, which makes sentences feel repetitive and less precise.
Mistake number 2, connecting too many ideas with just and, creating long run-on sentences instead of using clearer connectors like because, although, or however.
Why does this happen? Learners often focus so much on adding more words that they forget clarity and natural flow matter more than length or complexity.
Mistake number 3, trying to sound overly formal or academic in casual conversation, which can actually sound unnatural and distant rather than impressive.
And mistake number 4, forcing complicated vocabulary into every single sentence, when sometimes a simple, well-placed word actually sounds more natural and confident. Let's do a quick correction game. I'll say an overly stiff or basic sentence, and Emily will offer a more natural, powerful version. Ready when you are. The food was very good, and I was very happy. Better version. The food was absolutely delicious, and I was thrilled with how the whole evening turned out.
I am currently experiencing significant fatigue.
Honestly, I'm completely exhausted right now. Perfect corrections. Natural, warm, and still clearly powerful. Please remember, upgrading your English doesn't mean sounding overly formal or complicated. It simply means sounding more precise, natural, and expressive.
Exactly. And honestly, even native speakers prefer natural, expressive language over stiff, overly formal sentences in everyday conversation.
Now let's move into our favorite part. Choose the more powerful sentence. I'll give you 2 options, and you decide which one sounds stronger and more natural.
Situation 1.
A.
The concert was very good. B. The concert was absolutely incredible.
B. Much more vivid and confident. Situation 2. A. I was tired. I went to bed early. B. I went to bed early because I was completely exhausted. B. Combined naturally with a clear reason. Situation 3. A. The movie was long, and I liked it, and it was interesting. B. Although the movie was long, I found it genuinely interesting. B. Much smoother, avoiding that run-on feeling from A. Situation 4. A. I am currently experiencing significant fatigue. B. Honestly, I'm exhausted right now. B. Far more natural for everyday conversation. And our final one, situation 5. A. I went to the store. B. After work, I quickly stopped by the store before heading home. B. More detailed, varied, and naturally engaging.
Excellent choices across the board. Now here's your challenge. Take one basic sentence you often use and upgrade it using at least 2 techniques from today. Stronger vocabulary, a connector, or added detail.
Try saying both the basic and upgraded versions out loud right now and really notice the difference in how each one feels.
You can also experiment with tone. Try your upgraded sentence casually with a friend, then slightly more formally, like in a work conversation.
Remember, real, natural conversation always matters more than sounding overly complicated. Powerful English is about clarity and expression, not complexity for its own sake. Wow, I already want to go back and upgrade so many of my everyday sentences after this episode.
Same here. Let's quickly recap the 3 main techniques we covered today. First, upgrading vocabulary. Replacing basic words like good or very tired with stronger, more specific choices. Second, combining sentences with connectors like because, although, however, and so that. Third, adding detail and varying your sentence starters to sound more natural and engaging.
If you can start applying even one of these techniques this week, your English is going to sound noticeably more confident and expressive, almost immediately.
And remember, powerful English doesn't mean complicated English. It simply means clear, precise, and natural, with just a little extra color added in.
Here's a question for you before we go. What's one basic sentence you're excited to upgrade using today's techniques? Tell us in the comments. We'd love to see your improvements.
And if this episode helped you today, please like it, share it with a friend who's learning English, and subscribe to English Vertex Podcast so you never miss an episode.
We put so much care into making these techniques practical and easy to use right away, and your support truly means so much to us. Keep practicing, keep upgrading your sentences little by little, and don't be afraid to experiment with new words and structures. Thank you so much for spending this time with us today. See you next time.